Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while since I have recorded a podcast. I got a virus and I was sick for so long, so I'm hoping that I can get through this. I'm a lot better now, but sometimes when I get to talking, I get a little cough or something. So I'm just going to try and get through this without doing any of that. So today I wanted to share recently, let me give you a little backstory of how this came about. Recently on my Instagram page, you can follow along at My Creative Days, I shared I have a list of cleaners to use on wood furniture before you do a makeover on a piece of furniture. And I was getting a lot of questions about what cleaners should I be using on my antique furniture that's safe to use. And so I thought, I keep getting this question, so I am going to answer that here today. So this is, it all depends on your piece of furniture, what kind of condition it is in, all the things. So this is just a list of cleaners to use just to clean your furniture, your antique, those wood pieces that are actually made of real wood. The amazing pieces that we're finding at, yard sales, estate sales. They were handed down from family at a thrift store. Those are the pieces that I'm always picking up. I don't pick up anything that's not made of real wood. And so this list is for cleaners that are safe to use on those pieces. The makeover list of cleaners is if you're going to, paint the piece of furniture, or, maybe you have to do some wood filler or you have to do some veneer repair. So that list is a little bit different. And I also have that list on my website. So I will link to both that cleaner list and this cleaner list in the show notes. So you can definitely check that out and you can get right to it. And everything is linked inside of those posts. So if there's, I name a cleaner and you're like, wait, where do you get that? it's all inside the post on my website. So just click on that and then you'll find them all there. So let's get started. So for me, when I have, those antique pieces of furniture, I have a couple, I guess just basically the hutch. I was trying to think, I used to have a table, but I have a couple pieces that were handed down, but most of the pieces that I have been, thrifted, estate sales, yard sales. And those pieces, they're hard to find in good condition. And so, or if you have a family heirloom, you really want to keep those in great condition. So for me, when I am let's just say dusting throughout the house, I maybe use a very lightly damp cloth. That's really what I'm going to use. But this is for, you need a little bit more cleaning and it's not just dusting. So the first one is gentle soap and water. This is the simplest and, one of the safest ways to clean antique furniture. You want to choose a mild soap and dilute it in water, right? To create a solution. And then you're gonna, you could put it in a spray bottle if you wanted to. But I always say never spray or put whatever you're using on the furniture itself, but actually in your cloth first. So if you're using a spray bottle or something else, put that on your cloth first and then, apply it that way or clean it that way. And always, if you're nervous about it, always start in an inconspicuous area, behind the top or behind a leg or, on the back that maybe isn't fully finished, but it's just got a wood back. Try it there first just to be safe and then go from there. You definitely don't want to saturate your wood. So definitely be careful with that. So with that being said, so what is gentle soap? What does that mean? So one of them is, a pure cast style soap. You can definitely use that. Sometimes baby shampoo, they're usually formulated to be gentle, and non-irritating for your baby. So it can be suitable for cleaning delicate surfaces. Ivory soap, it's kind of like your Dawn dish soap, right? It's just been around forever. And there's so many different uses people have found for them over the years. So that could also be something. It's free from harsh chemicals and additives, so it does make it safe for antique furniture. But again, you want to dilute all of this stuff so it's not just like you have a bunch of soapy residue left on your piece either. And then you can also get the castile soap flakes. To make like a solution as well and use that on your pieces. Now, the next one is white vinegar and water. And I'm telling you, even if I'm doing a makeover or, I'm just cleaning anything, I always say the safest bet is your white vinegar and water. That's not going to leave any residue, because sometimes if you don't get, the soap or whatever diluted enough, you're going to have that soapy residue left on it. White vinegar and water can do wonders for a lot of pieces. Allow it to sit for a few minutes before you're wiping it down. Now, again, you don't want to like dump a bucket of it on your piece of furniture. But, just let it sit a little bit. Let the acidity of the vinegar help, break down any residue or gunk that you might have on the wood and then wipe it away. Beeswax polish. So, along with salve and also restore finish. Now, I didn't want to get into those. I've done podcasts on those before too. But like I said, this is all going to depend on what your piece needs. But you can use the beeswax polish for just enhancing the natural beauty of antique wood. It'll provide some protection and it'll polish it. So, obviously, if you had a bunch of dirt and grime and gunk and stuff on there, you don't want to start with this. But, a small amount on a soft cloth and then buff it into the furniture. My go-to, if I'm just looking to kind of, I always say give the wood a drink of water. And I say that because some pieces you have, or some pieces you find, I guess, because I have never had to redo this on any pieces of furniture, which is something I get asked all the time. But sometimes you just look at a piece of furniture and the wood, like after you give it a good cleaning with white vinegar and water or whatever, you just know that it needs a drink. Like it just needs some moisture. And I swear by the salve that I use, I share all the time. I'll leave a link to that in the show notes as well. It is unbelievable. And the beeswax polish is going to give you that same thing, but I will never not have the salve that I use on hand. It smells amazing. It comes in so many different scents. Like that's one of my favorite things about it, but I use it on so many things. Whereas the beeswax polish, you might not be able to use it on all kinds of things. I use the salve in my car. Literally. So it's just amazing stuff. Okay. I'm going off on a side tangent here. The next one is mineral spirits. Now, if your piece of antique furniture has layers of grime or wax buildup, mineral spirits can be used as a cleaning solution. You want to be careful with this. You want to do it in a well-ventilated area. And a small amount of the mineral spirits on a clean cloth, again, test it in an area that you're not going to notice just to see how it takes it. I always say to anybody that's flipping furniture or making over furniture, you can have 2 dressers, let's just say, of this that are exactly the same. But, you walk into a thrift store and there's 2 dressers there that are exactly the same, but they came from different homes or, from different families. And they will, even though the wood is the same, maybe it's the stain is the same, like it was finished the same, but the way it was, used, the way it was cleaned or not cleaned over the years, the way it was stored or not stored over the years, like all of those things are going to make a difference in your makeover or in your cleaning or in your, you know what I mean? So if it works on one, it's not a guarantee that it's going to work on the next. I'm just saying that again because I want you to be careful. These are just some of the things you can try, but every piece is going to be different. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this over and over again. So mineral spirits is another thing you can use, after you try it. If it's working and you've tested it and you think it's going to be okay, then you want to follow it with a thorough wiping with a damp cloth after that. Now, there are many commercial wood cleaners that you can buy as well. And I'm just going to list a couple here. Again, if you go to my blog post in the link in the show notes, all of these are linked, so you'll go right to them. So Murphy's Oil Soap. I love a lot of Howard's products. Feed and Wax Wood Polish and Conditioner. Scott's Liquid Gold Wood Cleaner and Preservative. Guardsman Deep Clean Purifying Wood Cleaner. Old English lemon oil. I feel like that was like always in my grandma's, cabinet, my mom's cabinet. Like when they went to dust, that's what they used, I swear. So those are just a few of the commercial cleaners that are out there as well that you can use on your antique furniture. Now, if you Restore Finish is also another product that I've shared many, many, many times. If you follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, any of the TikTok, any of the, social platforms, I have shared that many times. And sometimes if you have a lot of scratches where it's not like the wood looks like it needs a drink of water, but it's like maybe it's like rubbed off some of the finish a little bit in areas here and there, then you definitely would want to try the Restore Finish on that. And I'll leave a link to that in the show notes as well, because like I said, this is just a list that you can try. Every piece is going to be different. I wish I could look at all of your pieces. I get that sent to me a lot, but I can't look at them all. But this is how you learn. And this is how you kind of figure out, okay, I definitely need salve for this. Oh, this is going to need Restore. Oh, this just needs a good cleaning. It's just going to be vinegar and water on this one. The more and more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get with what you're using. And the more knowledge you're going to gain on, when you see a piece at an estate sale, you'll be like, yep, all that needs is a good cleaning, or all that needs is some salve and it's good to go. So just like anything, the more and more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get and the easier it'll get. So that was my list. Again, check the show notes for all the links. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. You can always email me, lindsay@mycreativedays.com. You can reach out to me on Instagram @mycreativedays. I love hearing from you. If there's a podcast episode you have, if there's an idea or a question you have, please send them in. I never share your name. It's just great feedback for me to know what kinds of content, what kinds of podcasts you're looking for, and that would be helpful to you. And I will talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so, so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.